I'm Dr. Alan Oestreich, pediatric radiologist for many years at Children's Hospital, and I wanted to alert parents and everybody about the dangers of children swallowing magnetic things, magnetic toys especially, sometimes magnetic jewelry. The danger is if more than one magnetic object is swallowed. Some years ago, actually in 2004, we encountered a patient at our hospital. He was about 12 years old. He was autistic. He had been at summer camp and unsupervised began to have some abdominal pain. He had to come home. He stayed home for a few days and then came to our emergency room with increasing belly pain and some vomiting. When he came to our emergency room and x-rays were ordered and taken, this is one of the two belly x-rays that we took on this child, and we see in the lower abdomen, which is what we see here, many white objects, some separated from each other, some stuck to each other, and we didn't realize at first what they were, but these are magnets which the child had swallowed. They've gone beyond the stomach. They stick together. Such magnets are liable, once they're in the gastrointestinal tract beyond the stomach, they're liable to have one magnet in one bowel loop and one magnet in the next bowel loop, and they attack each other or they attract it to each other and can cause damage. Upon our discussion of what we thought we were seeing, that is magnets and problems from the magnets, the child went to surgery almost immediately, and the surgeons found stuck together magnets going through holes in the bowel, going into the covering of the bowel, and thus causing local infection. The surgery was difficult, but it was successful, and the child eventually recovered. But this is an example of the dangers of more than one magnet getting beyond the stomach. Sometime in the new millennium, about 2000 or so, toy manufacturers started using much more powerful magnets in their construction toys. Most of them have been using neodymium, a rare earth metal shown here on the periodic chart, much more powerful and therefore more dangerous. And here to demonstrate what happens is a diagram showing nearby bowel loops, small bowel or large bowel, beyond the stomach, and the red objects are two magnets which are strongly attracting each other across the two bowel walls. And they will stick together, and they tend to cause erosions, holes in the bowel wall, and other bad things that happen. The child who is experiencing magnets stuck together like this often have only mild symptoms. They have bellyache, they vomit a little, and it takes an astute parent or teacher to get the child to emergency room to be checked and to get an x-ray to see if there are indeed magnets that might be stuck. Some children are lucky. They swallow, have more than one magnet leave the stomach, and it goes eventually through the whole tract and out the bottom. However, in our experience, the majority of times that magnets have gotten beyond the stomach, bad things have happened. Through these last 15 to 20 years, there have been available many creative toys that have magnets in them, and they are a danger when unsupervised. They happen to be swallowed, either by unthinking babies who don't know any better, but often by older children who swallow them on a dare or because they think it's a nice idea, which it isn't. Here is a drawing or an example from Wikipedia of some of the magnetic toys that are sticking to each other, these metallic parts. The two biggest evidences of magnetic toys in the United States have been ones called magnetics, and more recently little round ones called buckyballs. The buckyballs are smaller and they're just as dangerous because they just as much stick to each other on either side of bowel loops. Buckyballs were actually taken off the market for about 2 years by the federal authorities, but apparently Big Toy had influence in Washington and had the buckyballs made legal to use again, and they're still having problems. In 2008, we did an article reviewing many cases of damage from multiple magnets beyond the stomach in children worldwide. We had 21 countries represented in our list of 128 cases. The majority of children actually were older than 3 years of age. We had in that group of 128 children, 12 children who were known to be autistic. Autistic children have a greater tendency than the average children to put things into their mouth and swallow, and so they are in particularly liable to the possibility of swallowing multiple magnets. So be alert. Let all your friends know that multiple magnets can be a problem. One magnet, fine, unless it's also swallowed with some other metallic structure like a ball bearing, but this is a danger, and at this time of year, I want to remind you of these dangers. Thank you.